Wholesale Hotline. I'm Brent Daniels.
I'm Jamil Damji.
And I'm Jerry Norton.
And I'm Morby.
Every week we bring you the best information on real estate investing.
Be sure to participate in the comments.
And subscribe.
Enjoy the show!
So thank you so much for calling Wholesale Hotline.
Wow, that's great.
They know how to handle.
Hilarious.
Hey, welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 256. I am Brent Daniels. This is Jamil Damji and Pace Morby.
What's up?
We are here to spread the word. 2 words squished together in a hashtag. Squad up.
Baby.
What does squad up mean?
Man, it means a lot of things, but it's what we're doing right here. It's collaboration, a meeting of the minds, working together in unison in a harmonious way to further your goals together instead of having frictionful, competitive, dog eat dog, stabby backy kind of vibe, you know? I think the most beautiful thing about the way that we've operated over the last 5 years, is it almost 5 years here? Holy moly, is just how cooperative we are. You know, I just came out of a session with Pace talking about Squad Up Summit and all the incredible things this genius has been putting together behind the scenes to make this
4 shows away from 5 straight years.
My goodness. 4 shows, we're gonna have our 5th year anniversary.
That's right.
That is bananas. Absolute bananas. But yeah, squad up, man. It's real. It's real. And the summit is going to be out of this world.
Can you even get tickets?
I mean, 3,000 tickets gone already. Pace, how many are left?
All the VIP, SVIP tickets are gone. We have 500 general admission tickets still left, but we've got 2 more months to go. So those will definitely sell out.
How can people get access? Let's get it sold out today.
Squad Up. Yeah, Pace, go ahead.
SquadUpSummit.com. Get your ticket. The good thing about Squad Up Summit is that if you guys want to get around high-level people that are doing deals or really wanting to do deals, you go to Squad Up Summit. Why? It's a little bit more of a pricey ticket. It's not a cheap ticket. It's not $100. It's not $300. And heck, it's not even $500. We want the highest level people in that room as possible, people that are committed, dedicated, and want. We just find that when you charge for a free event, you attract free people. When you charge $100, you attract $100 people. And so this year, ticket prices, last year we sold out really, really fast. So we decided this year, let's raise the prices and get more expensive guests. And so Jerry Norton, our most expensive guest that we have ever had.
Bro, he didn't give us a friend discount. He didn't give us the Puerto Rican promo code. Nothing.
Not only that, but I'm bringing the whole crew, like the whole family's coming. So then you got that.
We got to fly him in on a private jet.
No, we're road tripping in the van, so there, won't be too bad.
That'll be special. You speak the same day that David Goggins speaks. And so I think he's going to open up for Mr. Jerry Norton. I don't care how many push-ups or pull-ups you can do. If you can't make 10 children and do 100 wholesale deals a year or more.
I mean, that's impressive, right?
Bro, it's incredibly impressive. Will, what's up, brother? Good to see you. We love
Will, say hi. We got special guest Will in the house.
What's up, Will?
So squadupsummit.com. Jamil will be speaking actually twice. We've got Jordan Peterson coming out. That is an incredibly challenging guest to get. We have Squad Up Summit, Jordan Peterson, Cody Sanchez, Tim Story, Dean Graziosi, and freaking David Goggins are all opening for my best friend, Jerry mother freaking Norton. It's going to be amazing. So squadupsummit.com. It's not a cheap ticket. We know. Appreciate it. We also will have a bunch of people from the community. The vision that Jamil and I had years ago was, let's go do the biggest event that real estate has. In Bigger Pockets typically has the biggest event. They have a 3,000 person event. And they do an incredible job. I love the format. We've all four spoken there. We've all done amazing. We've had an amazing time with Bigger Pockets. But this will be the biggest real estate event that there is in the industry. It'll be 3,600 people. Great place for you to go network. The best seat in the house is the hallway. That's what I like to say. The best seat in the house is the hallway, networking with everybody, getting to know everybody. Also, the best place to hang out is in the hallways late at night, right? People are not going to bed till 1 o'clock in the morning because they're networking out in the big foyer at the restaurants, in between the hallways, et cetera. And they're doing deals, talking about doing deals, collaborating, partnering with each other, et cetera. But Jamil and I had a big vision a couple of years back that we said, why don't we take the people that we have trained and brought into this industry and put them on stages that we never thought we could be on. And so we have a little over 12 members of our collective community, people that Jerry has taught, people that Brent have taught, people that Jamil and myself have taught, that have gone and done incredible things. And some of them literally started a year ago. We have one of them, she started buying RV parks last year. She went to Squat Up Summit, did not own any RV parks. Now she owns 7 RV parks and is launching an RV park fund. So that's one of our speakers. And we've got other incredible people. We have somebody that did a hotel. They did what Jerry did, basically bought something, converted it, added value. And this gentleman, Doran Levy, made $20 million on
one deal. He
on
made
a hotel?
$20 million on a deal.
Bought it for $3 million. Bought it for $3 million, put $8 million into it. Jamil and I went and toured it about 5 months ago. It is by far the most impressive hotel I've ever been to. He's just a craftsman, did an incredible job, and he refinanced it and got $35 million for this hotel after it was all refinanced and said and done. So it's won awards.
Pace, what would you say the value comparison for like the classes and the instruction that's going to be going on versus the networking, doing deals with people in the halls, raising money in the halls, elevating your network? What would you say would be the comparison there? Like, how much value is there in the training side of things, and then how much in the networking side?
I tell people that we are basically pulling a bait and switch with our speakers. We're tricking you with speakers just to get you in the hallway. We are tricking.
So that's
you
the main point. That's way more valuable.
99% of it should be networking. And so every Thursday I spend the whole day Thursday with 15 people from our collective communities, TTP members, Iguanas, Astro members, Subto, Gator, Top Tier TC. They come and hang out with me on Wednesdays, and I get to talk to them about how was your experience at Squat Up Summit? And they say, since Squat Up Summit, I did X, Y, Z, P, D, Q. Since Squat Up Summit, I did whatever. Joshua's son, shout out to Joshua's son. I just hung out with him a couple of weeks ago. I said, how has it been, man, being part of the community? He goes, dude, since Squat Up Summit, my life has changed. I made $400,000 raising money. This is what's cool about what we do, is that we don't just do one thing. We do it all, right? And Joshua's son said, when I learned how to raise capital from you and Jerry, I then joined Subto. It was our Raising Private Capital Zoom, or series that we did on YouTube. He watched it, he went to Squat Up Summit, joined Subto, and he went and raised a bunch of money for somebody else's projects, netted $400,000 this year just raising money for somebody else's projects. And he got millions of dollars of ownership in those projects. So he says that my Squat Up Summit experience was probably worth $3 or $4 million just for being in that room with other people that are raising capital. So
that's crazy.
It's cool. Story after story after story after story. So squatupsummit.com, squatupsummit.com. Get your tickets. We will sell out. We sold out last year. I'm sorry for those people that want SVIP. It sold out back in December. VIP, I think there's a few left of VIP, and then we've got general admission. But again, get the ticket, hang out in the hallway.
And Pace, you were telling me when I was talking to you about this a few weeks ago, and you were telling me that a venue like this that can house 3,500 people and do all the things there's actually not that many venues that can even do what you're doing here with Squat Up.
Less than a handful.
Yeah, less than a handful. And then you have to
in the entire country. It's crazy.
Yeah, the entire country. We were going to do the Gaylord in Nashville, And Nashville said, "You're too big for us. We can't handle your size." And so that is kind of a cool feeling to be able to be forced into only a handful of buildings. So this year it will be in Dallas, end of March, last week of March, guys. Come hang out with us in Dallas, Texas. Perfect weather. We'll have a big launch party on night 0. Then we'll have day 1, day 2, and day 3. Day 3, half of it will be outside. We actually have something really fun that we'll be doing, I believe, on day 1 or day 2, Jerry and Jamil. I don't think we've talked about this, but we will be generating leads live, and you, Jerry, Jamil, we will all be in the room, and we will take lead after lead after lead, and we will basically be in front of 3,500 people watching us compete to see who's better at handling leads. It'll be a lot of fun.
Jeez.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing having to have seller conversations following you.
Yeah.
I'll do okay. I'll kill him with jokes.
No, you are. I've been on appointments with you, and I don't think there's. I told somebody the other day that you are sneaky good. Like, you wouldn't expect Jamil to be one of the greatest closers in the industry, because you don't go around the industry saying I'm a closer. But ironically, you close more deals than anybody in the industry, and your team is so skilled, so good, and it's based on the way you've trained them, based on the way that you ran your business. So super exciting. We are talking to sellers, of course, just trying to set appointments. So we're not trying to close the deal right there on the phone, but we're going to show people how to start generating leads. Literally, get on the phone within 15 minutes, talking to sellers, negotiating on houses within 15 minutes, starting from nothing. And we will show people how to generate so many leads within just about 15 minutes that we will have to have 3 people handling those leads, and they get to watch us for 45 minutes handling those leads. So it should be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So Jerry is speaking. Jamil will be running a couple of different parts of the event, and I will speak, I think, a couple of times, but the main people that we're highlighting is we have 15 people from our community that will be on the big stage, which is crazy to think about. Like, I think it took me a good 6-7 years to get to the point where I could get on a 2,000 person stage. Remember the last time we went to the Hilton Anatole? This is where the hotel's being ran. Max Maxwell, 2018. It was peak Max Maxwell.
Yeah.
It was peak Max Maxwell. He was the most popular guy on the planet, spitting amazing game on YouTube. Shout out to Max Maxwell. And I remember him just shouting out into the industry saying, I'm going to do the biggest wholesale event on the planet. And his goal was 1,000 people. And when we walked into that room, we were like, holy moly, we would never be able to do something like this. And here we are going back to the same exact hotel.
Wow.
With literally 3.5 times more people. The hotel is like, excuse me, you want to do how many people? Are some of them okay standing? We said yes. So Land Contract Mike says, will Michael Frankie be at Squad Up Summit? I think all of the leaders of our community will be at Squad Up Summit. Michael Frankie is not only a Subto member, he's also a mastermind member. So Michael Frankie will probably be there networking and hanging out. It's the who's who in the industry. Largest, I can tell you, somebody in Subto, they're the largest Amazon data center developer in the nation. Guy's a literal, I think he's worth $700 million. He joined Subto just to buy land from Subto members to develop for Amazon data centers. He'll be in the hallways just networking. This is the place you go network. This is the place you go meet people that are serious about their business. We have a really cool app. There's Subto Andrew Arriaga in Houston. He'll be there, one of the leaders down in Houston. We have an app that helps you find the people that have the solutions you need. So you'll show up, registration, download an app. The app, you'll say, here's my problems, here's what I'm struggling with. And then basically it'll allow you to pair up and communicate with people through the entire event. So instead of you only paying attention to the event, you'll be able to communicate, go out in the hallway, set up appointments with people right there. Like, it's completely disruptive to the event if you really think about it. But it's the main reason why we want people to be there, is to actually walk away with 15, 20, maybe 100 plus relationships that you didn't have before.
How many times, Pace, have you been to an event, or Jerry, Brent, where you thought, man, if I could have just had a portion of the people's contact information that were sitting in this room, I could probably 10x my business. Just like a portion, a sliver of the people's phone numbers. You're going to be able to connect with everyone who's in that audience. Like just that, the capacity to squat up. Like if you've got, okay, who are all the people doing acquisitions in Tampa? We're going to meet at the bar at this place at 5:00 tonight. Let's all kick it. Everybody converges. They're all the people doing the exact same thing, or complementary things like, hey, who wants to meet all the acquisitions people? If you're dispo guys and you want to connect with the acquisitions people, come meet us. If you're doing creative deals and you want to find guys who are doing co-living that you can sell your deals to, come over here. If you're looking for end buyers for specific properties, come here. If you're looking for fix and flips, I mean, the utility is just endless.
I love it.
Yeah. One piece of feedback we got last year was how much they love the breaks, because for us, breaks were not about taking a break. It was going out, get in the hallway, and of course, stretch your legs, but go make 10 new relationships. And while you're listening to the next speaker, now you're texting and communicating, for follow-ups, et cetera. Caroline Vasquez, good to see you. She says, I closed a deal and opened escrow for 3 new files while sitting in Squad Up Summit last year. Squad Up Summit is a way for you to squad up with other people. Okay. Daniel B says, is there anyone in Subto or Astro in here? Yeah, we've got 303 people live today. So yes, guys, if you are in Subto, Gator, Top Tier TC, if you are in Jerry's world, you are in Brent's TTP Rhino Squad, please say so in the comments so more people can network with you in the side chat. Jose Gonzalez says, I'm an Astro member, Daniel. There you go. Cool. Amazing. I just played golf with Landon Moore. Landon Moore just did $62,000 in his wholesale business last month. He has got his systems operating, firing on all 8 cylinder. He's only been in the business for a couple of years, joined Subto, became an immediate leader, has helped so many people along the way. Shout out to Landon Moore. Really appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. I had a question. It was at the very beginning. I want to pull this up for all of you guys on the show tonight. The question was about 16-year-old. Can a 16-year-old be successful in this business? Brent Daniels, what would you say to a 16-year-old? Can they do consistent deals was actually his specific question.
As long as you can talk to people. That's it. As long as you have a cell phone, as long as you have a willingness, as long as you have courage to talk to strangers about real estate. Yeah. I mean, listen, you're going to have somebody that's over 18 sign the documents for you.
I think wholesale is as kind to minors as Drake is.
But yeah, very kind.
Yeah.
I had one. Brent, I had one time where a 16-year-old said, hey, I found this great deal, but I couldn't sign the contract. So I asked my dad, and my dad said, no, what do I do? Guess what I told him? Go ask your mom.
Yeah, there you go. Go ask your mom. Do you know?
And he went and asked his mom, and his mom signed, and his mom did it. His mom signed it, and he did the deal.
That's so
there you go.
Great, dude. Oh my God.
I mean, listen, the conversations that you have with property owners, the sooner you start it, the better you're going to get. You know what I mean? And if you have a passion and you know that this is the path that you want to, kind of test it and experiment and see what's going on, then go talk to some property owners.
For sure.
Start building those skills right away. You start building those skills at 16. By the time you're 18, 19, 20, I mean, we've all had students that are 18, 19, 20 15? That have done well over, 6 figures a year. And it's not from a YouTube channel.
Correct.
It's not from flipping Pokemon cards. It's from talking to property owners and, finding really great opportunities. So, I mean, it's wide open. That's the beautiful thing about this business. If you have a heart for it, it'll work if you do, for sure.
Yeah. I was driving to an appointment Saturday, and I had to take a moment to be grateful for how lucky we are to be in this business. So I don't go on a lot of appointments anymore. I know Brent and Jerry, you guys have scaled operations as well. Jamil, I know you don't talk to a lot of agents that much. Obviously, you guys listen to us on Wholesale Hotline because we are business owners, not hobbyists, right? We run businesses that do wholesale. We run businesses that do fix and flip. We run businesses that develop, and we run businesses that have portfolios, and we buy and hold, right? We run businesses. The businesses don't run us. But when I have members of Subto that want me to go help them on a specific problem that maybe I'm uniquely good at and I can go handle it, I say yes. And of course, I go record it. I get content. I'll go sit down with the seller and in person. So I'm on my way down Saturday morning, down to this appointment. And I'm just sitting there thinking how lucky I am to have the basic knowledge, non-licensed. I'm not a real estate agent. I don't think they'd ever let me pass the bar exam or whatever it is that they do over there. And I'm going down, meeting with an agent and their seller that's having a hard time selling their house. And I'm sitting there actually, I got the email back right now. I'll show you guys the email. This was after my appointment. I just got it today. So this will show you what I love about knowing something that other people don't know. I don't want to show you guys her whole name. I wonder if I could select. I don't want you guys going around me. That's the problem. If this was like inside of Subto Zoom, I could easily, here, let's do this. Debbie Bell and Madison. There we go. Today at 10:38 a.m. I will at least hide her actual email so you can't see it, and I'll pull this up. Oh, it's the greatest feeling to be able to go down to an appointment and solve a problem that somebody else who is licensed could not solve on their own, and make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. And it really is one of the only solutions that the seller has. So check this out. Hey, Pace, thank you so much for spending your Saturday morning with me and our clients. Nicole and Seth are on board with this option, which is subject to. They know this is a realistic option for them, although they have advised us on a few things they would like to add into the contract. Before that, is it possible to send over your disclosures so we can read through them? I just look at this. I'm like, man, we're all so freaking lucky. This real estate agent had never heard of subject to as of Thursday last week. Never heard of it. House is having a hard time selling on the market. I go meet them and their seller in person. Since Saturday, she has sent me 4 other opportunities. She's like, here's more, here's more, here's more, here's more. The amount of money that's in this business, if you just talk to people, Brent Daniels, TTP, you just open your gosh dang mouth and you help people. There's probably times in Jerry's business, Jamil's business, and Brent's business where you feel overwhelmed with opportunity. You have to stop, pause, and get organized because you have so much opportunity to make money. In fact, you start turning down opportunities because the abundance of making money is so prevalent. So I'm sitting there driving to this appointment on Saturday going, how lucky am I that I get to go down to an appointment and I'll probably make $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000 being non-licensed. I didn't have to list the property. I helped the seller, I helped the agent, and I will go seller finance to a family that needs to live in that house. And I'll make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for probably 4 hours worth of work.
And being at your buyer showcase pace and getting to see the people that you're going to be able to help get a home, and especially considering right now how low buyer demand has fallen. If you've been watching any of the statistics, mortgage applications have plummeted. Buyer demand is right now. Just retail buyer demand has been really rough. Pace was saying to me earlier today, he was looking at the statistics for 2024, and what was it, Pace? The exact phrase you used for 2024 sales volume?
Yeah, here, I'll show you. Let me pull it up real fast. This is really interesting for people. If you guys go to the debt clock, there's a lot of really great information on the debt clock. And if you go back to the debt clock, here, I'll show you where it is. Go back to the debt clock. You can see how much our government is just really efficiently spending our money with a $2 trillion budget deficit this year. That's amazing. But go down to home sales. And this is really eye-opening. Check it out. So if you look at existing home sales, we have not had a slower year than 2024 than all the way back in 1995. In fact, look at the bottom of the market in 2011. This was the slowest Okay, bottom of the market, 4,191,830.
Isn't that wild? You too.
And we sold 100, basically 100. That we will sell 100,000 less this year than we did last year. We are on track to even have a worse retail market. So that's what Jamil's talking about. He's not talking about wholesale.
No.
He's not talking about.
I'm pointing at the wholesalers in the audience here, and I'm asking them, and they had their best years they ever had last year. And for creative finance people, it's taking candy from a baby right now. I mean, you guys, these houses aren't selling on the market. You can do the thing that Pace is teaching you guys in the No One Left Behind challenge. Get in those appointments, have those conversations, get into those low equity deals, and pair that. Why do you think he's putting on the buyer showcase? Because now you've got your exits. All those people are dying to get into homes. They just don't want to die to get into a home with 8% mortgage rate on it and overpay, right? They'd way rather get into, as an end user, get into a house with a 2.5-3% mortgage that was, maybe a couple years old. It's a perfect scenario. Yeah, I mean, and just like you were able to do, Pace, on that last deal with the one that you just emailed on, you solved the problem an agent couldn't solve for almost 6 months and a week.
Yeah. And the way that I'll find a buyer for that is really interesting is, Jerry, I would love to have you at one of my buyer showcases one day, but
I'd love to come.
All I'm doing is bringing in non-traditional buyers, a lot of Hispanic families that are like, we have cash in our mattress. We don't want to go to the bank. And I just invite them to my office. We had 100 people show up this week because we sold a couple of them. I made 20 grand last week for the buyer showcase, Jamil.
Dope.
We're taking out of the 20 grand, we're taking 10,000. We're spending money on ads to fill the funnel. I'm actually just going to start spending a ton of money in my local market on finding people that believe they have to rent a property. Oh, this is great. I would love to see this. Brent.
Look at this. So the height, 1,172 in 2020. 2024 for mortgage applications, 224. So it's about 24%, about 22% of the mortgage applications in 2024 is in 2020. 2021 obviously was a strong year too, 946. And you can see it's just been chugging along since interest rates went up. I mean, you see it, interest rates go up, demand goes down. Yep, that's it.
But you know what, though? I mean, if I'm totally honest about all this, I don't pay any attention to any of it. It doesn't matter to me. And here's why. If you buy right and you put out a good product, you're going to have a buyer for it. I just listed a flip in Michigan on Friday, listed it for $460 and, renovated it, staged it. It's beautiful. It's awesome. Got a full price offer yesterday in this market, right? In the dead of winter in Michigan, but it's priced good. It's an amazing house. There's nothing like it on the market. There's not good inventory to compare it to. And I got a buyer at full price. So, where are you trying to compete?
The cream rises, Jerry. The cream will rise. That's it. You just can't suck. If you're bad at what you do, you're going to have a hard time. If you're a professional at what you do, you're going to rise.
Well, and you make money
even in this market. You bring a good deal, a buyer's going to want it. You put out a good product, a buyer's going to want it. Like, just buy right, do good work, put out a good deal. It's hard to take a deal to a cash buyer that's a marginal deal. That's hard right now. Take a phenomenal deal to a cash buyer, and it's going to go fast, and life's good. Same if you fix and flip. You put out a great product, you price it right, the market's going to want it. Even with high interest rates, even with low demand, you're going to do great. You're going to do well.
I talked to one of our PPC clients today, Jared. And he's out of Florida, a few markets, Tampa being one of them. Averages $60,000 a deal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what he does, Jerry?
What?
Takedown method. Buys every single buys every single property, puts them on the market at 5-10% under everybody else's price. And he says you find the best cash buyers. He goes, the cash buyer databases that you had a year and a half, 2 years ago are gone. That was his transition in his business, was really just put everything on the market. By the way, he lives in Ohio. And his staff is in Mexico.
And
and he wholesales and he does these.
How many deals?
You know why?
How many deals is he
You know
doing?
why that?
Like
You know why that is because when you put that property on the MLS, you're going to attract the highest paying buyer in the market because it's the biggest database and it's got the most exposure. The entire market is going to see that opportunity, not your isolated cash buyer list that's probably dated, even though it's from last week. So you attract that highest paying buyer. I call it the outlier buyer. It's someone that way overpays and doesn't follow the fundamentals, a do-it-yourselfer or whatever. Someone wants another property in their portfolio and all the different reasons. So they pay a premium for that property because you got it on the MLS. And that's just common sense that you're gonna typically get more for that property than trying to dispo it off market.
Pace, Jerry, Brent.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, the takedown method.
No, I mean, just do you think that with your cash buyer database here in Phoenix?
Yeah.
Because this has always been the problem that I've had.
Yeah.
We net more selling to our database than we do putting it on the market
MLS.
and selling it.
So for us, we've experienced the same thing.
Right.
It could be a regional because Phoenix does have this investor world which is thriving, and it's been thriving for decades, right? And a lot of the investors are they're trained to go to a Matt Justice, they're trained to go to a Keegley, they're trained to go to a Brent Daniels, Pace Morby, or Jerry Norton to find their deal because they are because it's so prevalent in Phoenix, Arizona.
He did 52 deals, averaging 60,000.
Phenomenal.
Right.
Crazy.
But I do believe that it's regional. I think that in some areas, in some markets, it's better than others. I have done better than I've done better than the MLS multiple times where a home has sat on the MLS for a period of time. I've talked to the real estate agent. I had them take it off the MLS and then sell it on the secondary market using our cash buyer database, and we're able to move it above what the MLS would have sold it for.
Right.
But I would say, Jamil, you're an anomaly because, I mean, you've been at it longer than anybody, and you have probably the biggest cash buyer list in Phoenix. The average wholesaler, though, they probably don't have a list like your list or connections or relationship or goodwill like you do. I mean,
what's your stats, Jerry? If you were to assign a deal versus takedown, do you know what the difference is?
We've been tracking it, and on a bad deal, we're 2 times our assignment, and on a good swing, we're 4 times our assignment.
So are you doing it on all of those, Jerry? Like what?
No. So here's my rule: if I can't make double to 4 times more on a takedown than my best offer on an assignment, I'll take the assignment because it's quick cash. I don't have to fund it. I don't have to do anything, right? So it better be 2 to 4 times more than our best offer with an assignment.
How do you know that going in, Jerry? If you're testing the market, testing a new market, you're getting on the MLS, or maybe you're going, maybe you haven't just sold a bunch of them on the MLS, so you know what I mean? You're looking at the comps, and then are you going a certain percentage of because these are cash purchases typically. These properties,
some of them are. It depends. Right. A lot of ours are clean, so they go retail because they're livable.
Got it.
But when I say 4 times, I mean on paper. I don't know till it actually sells if I get 4 times. But on paper, if I pencil out what I think I'll sell it for, what all my costs are going to be, if I can double to quadruple what I've got right now on the table with an assignment with a cash buyer, I'll wait. I'll say no to the cash offer. I'll go ahead and take it down and see if I can get 2 to 4 times more on the open market. So that's that's how I kind of make the decision. So we still wholesale all the time, like traditional wholesale, but I'm leaning more and more towards just buy it and resell it and make more money.
Something that he also does is you have to do your inspection before you get the contract accepted.
Why does he do that?
Just
speed. He wants the serious buyers that know what they're doing.
Oh, you're saying when he sells it?
Yes. When he puts it on the MLS, he will not accept an offer from you until you have either waived inspections or negotiated the price based on what you feel like.
I'm going to do that. That's the smartest thing ever.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, what we do in our listing is we tell my listing agent, I tell them, tell your stupid buyer's agent that your seller, me, is quote unquote hyper sensitive to repair requests, meaning he will accept 0. He will cancel the contract with you. Do not waste your time. However, there are really smart real estate agents that will get you 30 days deep into the transaction and then pull something weird on you. And you're already knee deep in the whole mucky muck. And you're just like, gosh, dang it. Fine. I'll give you a $5,000 credit, you idiot. And so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to tell them, I will not accept your contract until you do your inspection now. Oh, well, we're not going to pay for it.
Wait a minute. You know what's funny is on our takedowns, it's hilarious because we get lowball offers and I instantly know that it's a wholesaler and it's something that I taught him how to do or Jamil taught him how to do. And he's coming in with his cash offer, but it's a wholesaler because it's like half of my list price.
Yeah.
So it's really funny, but I'm like, yeah, good for you trying, but no way,
A couple of good questions in the side chat today, guys. Nigel P says, can Subto members access Jamil's buyers or JV with Jamil on Phoenix deals? Jamil, how can people JV with your Keegley team in the Subto community?
Here's the reality. And for Phoenix deals, I'm buying. I mean, Pace, you and I have been texting back and forth on Phoenix deals. I'm, as much as I am an owner in my business, I'm still an addict. I love doing deals, right? Like you do. You love being on the phone, talking to sellers. I do deals with Matt. I do deals with Astro folks all the time. Subto, iguanas, TTPs, all of you, please reach out to me on any Phoenix deals. I'm hungry for them. I just want to buy them. I don't even want to wholesale them. I'm trying to buy them to add to my co-living inventory, which is doing really well for me right now. It's been like a godsend. And so Nigel, please send me a DM on Instagram. I love West Phoenix deals. I love South Phoenix deals. Reach out.
Jerry, can I ask you something on your on the takedowns real quick?
Yeah.
Back in 2009-10, I was bidding at the auction, and the guys at the auction would not record their deed until right before we closed. Like if they bought it at the auction, they would put it on the market, but you wouldn't know what price they bought it for at the auction because that would affect the buyers trying to screw around with the price, right? They're like, oh, you got this for 15,000, I'll give you 30. You make 15. It's good. Even though, they wanted 80 or something. Can you on a traditional deal, Jerry, can you close on it?
At a higher price?
No, but just not record
your value.
Right.
Okay. So I know exactly what Brent's asking. He wants the recorded price to be reflective of what he is going to likely sell it for, or be no number,
right?
So that his new buyer isn't sitting there looking at, this guy just paid $220 for this thing. I don't want to give him $260. It's only been a week.
Right.
We've all had that feeling. We've all looked at a deal where somebody, everybody does it. I took one down in Tempe. I sent it like it's a 650 house because people saw what I bought it for. The offers I got were laughable. But had I not closed on it and I'd sent it out before that happened, the offers would have been $100,000 higher. Right. And so there is a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, it's you want to create the loan. Like if you're going to buy it in cash.
Okay? Are you talking about what Open Door and OfferPad does?
Well, no,
closing cash at a higher price.
Closing cash at the higher price and then credit yourself that money back on the settlement statement.
Right.
And so you'll get a higher affidavit of value recording. And what you would want to do then is kind of gauge what this is going to sell for. Mm-hmm. You want to know what gets a cash buyer even more excited.
Yeah.
If you've got a deal that it looks like you closed at 260 and you put that thing on for like 249.9, that's just like it like does something to the visceral.
I remember the first time I saw the Open Doors.
They're like, this guy, I gotta get this one. So yeah, you can do all that, but you just gotta close. You gotta have your LLC hold the deed of trust. You record it at a higher price and then give yourself a credit.
There's no way to just not record the price until you resell it?
Not in Arizona.
But Brent, that's not really been an issue. And here's why. We're buying these off market and taking them on market. So they're not really visible. And then my goal is to get them under contract within 2 weeks. If I don't have this price to go under contract in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, then I'm, because now my finance cost is going to start chewing into my deal. So I really don't have a buyer. Nothing's been. It takes 30 days usually for a recording to even show up. They're going to have to go kind of look that up. It's not really visible to them yet.
Not here, bro. Here's
at the time of contract.
Same day.
Yeah, in Arizona,
Arizona same day.
Yeah, it shows up right away.
So that's great.
Okay.
I would love a 30-day window. Like what I'm saying is there a way to delay the recording?
No, you just gotta do what I just said.
Yeah,
I get it.
Overbuy it.
There's got to be something. I got to get a title, an escrow person in here to just.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, but besides going the full, because then you're raising funds and then you're getting the funds back, and then it's artificially inflating the actual price that you paid for it, and then it comes back. And I know the open door and offer pad does, but is that going to be reflected negatively when it comes to the tax assessor looking at the sale of this thing? I don't know.
The bigger issue we have is the freaking FHA 90-day rule.
You just looked at this like an attorney would.
I'm just trying to see it like a strategy that would.
Fair. You saw a lot of angles there. I haven't even thought about.
Yeah.
The bigger issue we run into is the FHA anti-flipping rule, the 90-day seasoning rule. That we run into often, especially if you're at an FHA price point where 90% of and you're going retail with it, 90% of your buyers are going to want an FHA loan, and now you got to wait. You got to season it out 90 days. That's been a challenge at times.
Yeah, I'm more looking at just beat up properties that you put on the MLS to see if you can get double what you could from an assignment if you take it down and just expose it to everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you expose it to everybody, they'll see the price that you bought it at when you bought it at, and then that'll affect, you know what I mean? Like even with retail buyers, they're like, well, what'd they buy it for 2 years ago? Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, so they made a little bit,
I call that counting the money in your pocket, not their pocket.
100%. 100%. But people I mean, if it's a smoking deal, it's going to go fast and get multiple offers, and it doesn't really matter. But just to cut down on the shenanigans, and I'm just curious if there's a way to do that. I don't know.
What we should do is we should sit down with some title people and figure out how to create the workaround, right? Like what would be the legal way that doesn't put anybody in any jeopardy, that doesn't create because here's the problem. If you don't record your deed or you don't record, then is your title policy null and void? And then if a lien comes and jumps on at some point in that 30 days, are you now in jeopardy of
your deed is perfectly fine if you do not record your title. Insurance does not require you to record the transaction in the county recorder's office.
Okay.
So like a lot of the executory contracts or lease options I do, or agreements for sale, contracts for deeds, bonds for deeds, those types of things do not require you to transfer the deed. However, you do file certain documents at the county recorder's office that allow you to secure your position that is not a deed transfer. So a lien, a memorandum, etc. So we should have Matt McCabe, our attorney from Creative Title and Escrow, come on here and break it all down.
There's got to be a way you can do this.
I just wonder if there's a way to slow down
the recording,
right.
the reporting, not the recording.
Right.
Yeah.
Carson Walsh says, question for you all. You're 21 and in college. Wholesaling just made you your first 6 figures post taxes. What's your next move to preserve that and make it work for you while you go out and make more? I'll tell you what I'm doing. A lot of my cash goes into 3 places. I don't put cash in my own real estate. Okay. So that's my personal belief. Don't buy real estate with your own cash. Use other people's cash. Why? Because I can get other people's cash at 10%. I'll go get a Subto deal at 2, 3, 4, 5%, and I'll use my down payment with a private money lender at 10%, 30 grand, 40 grand, whatever. Cool. That's other people's money. With my money, I'm putting my money in one of 4 places. One, I'll go put it in loanranger.com. Sorry, guys, minimum amount of money that they'll take is $500,000, and they will pay you 10%. Jamil has a good connection at Cap Fund 1. Do they pay you 10 or 12%?
They're paying me 10.
Okay, cool. So they pay you 10%. You get that check every single month. You can pull that money out anytime. They essentially are going out and lending that money out to somebody else. So that's first place. Really simple. Second thing that I'll do with my cash is I will put it into Bitcoin or XRP, and I will then borrow back against it. So for example, I bought another $50,000 in XRP this morning. It was $2.00 I think it was like $2.12, and now it's almost back up to $3. I made 15 grand today just holding XRP in crypto. Once I buy the crypto, I never touch it, but I will borrow against it to do then step number 3. Step number 3 is I will lend my money out. Okay, so I've got a 16 unit development that we are funding this week for $400,000. That's my capital that I'm deploying. I will get 4 points. So I'll get $16,000 up front for the deal. I'm getting 16% interest, and I'm getting 15% ownership of the development, which will make me about $1 million over the course of the development, which is about a 2-year time frame. That money will more than double. It will actually get close to tripling in that time frame. So it does not make sense if you have access to do, and I call that the Gator strategy, getting access to bigger deals, big chunks of money. It doesn't make sense for you to put your money in your own real estate transactions if you have opportunities that pay you more. The fourth thing that I will do is I will put it in like an infinite banking policy. I have one that I put about 25 grand a month into, and that infinite banking policy is growing, and I will then leverage against that and do the same thing I do in number 3, which is lend the money back out. So again, all 4 of those essentially involve me lending my money to other people's projects. Okay. So I do my projects with no money, just like Jerry does, just like most everybody here does. You go borrow money, leverage money at a lower rate. Then I will use my cash to go put it into things that are going to give me a bigger yield. And that's usually on other people's projects that don't, to be honest with you, I take advantage of people that don't know how to raise money.
Yeah. But are really good operators at their deals.
Correct. They're so busy operating deals, but they don't know how to raise money. And so I use my understanding of raising capital and putting money to deal, and that I make more money on their deal than they do. So there you go. Evolve Property says, this guy is pure insanity. Wow. Can you please matrix my brain? Yeah. Go to my YouTube channel. I got 12-hour videos on there, bro. I won't shut the hell up. I love this business.
I would add to what you said and maybe summarize it a little bit differently, but I look at the speed of money from fast speed, medium speed, and slow speed. And you really need all 3 buckets working for you. In the beginning, you better put a lot of your emphasis on the fast speed money. That's monthly money. That's typically wholesaling. Medium speed might be flipping. You got to wait 6 months or whatever to get paid. Slow speed is going to be cash flowing things, passive income things. Could be rentals. I really, really like lending, like Pace just described. Lending's my end game. I want to lend out for passive income. The part where, Carson, you want to be careful of is you want to be careful not to divert your bandwidth, time, energy, and effort away from fast speed money at the stage you're in, because you're young, you're transacting. Don't lose sight of that. I call that the mothership or the golden goose. That's what's laying the golden eggs. That's creating the fast cash. Always protect that at all costs. If you're kicking out excess after-tax dollars, you do need to start thinking about some medium speed strategies and then some slow speed strategies, but never at the expense of your fast speed strategies. And you could take every single one of us, Pace, Jamil, Brent, and me, and while we're building out these other legs or other buckets, none of us lose sight of the fast speed money. We're always creating cash today.
Yeah, and I would say Jerry is like 110% right. I see people that will go, learn how to do Astro deals, and they'll go do 15 deals, make a bucket load of money real quick. And then they go, all right, cool. I did Astro flipping. I'm now going to jump on to the next thing. It's like, no, what are you talking about? You just built a business. Keep it going. Why would you do that? Well, because it's exciting. It's like, okay, put some systems and processes together.
Yeah.
Keep Astro flipping. Then take that capital and go pour it into something else. But
I've never seen it work, Pace, where they do that, where they go do a bunch of deals and then they go and do the other thing.
Yeah,
no, in fact, Carson, one good month or one good year doesn't mean you're ready now for the other things. Like, tell me if you've got that dialed in and you're kicking out $100,000 a month and you're in the owner's box, not the operator's box. Now you can say, I've got my fast cash dialed in. Now I'm ready to develop out these other areas. The problem isn't lending or rentals or whatever. Usually the problem is wrong timing. People are just at the wrong timing with their medium and slow, and they don't have the cash coming in every month to sustain the whole thing. So in my opinion, like, dial that in, make sure that you've got money coming in. And again, this is somewhat relative to where you're at when you come into the game. One of the things I hear Pace talk about is if you've already got a business because you're a lawyer and you're kicking out 500 grand a year and you're living below your means, maybe creating more cash isn't necessary, but that's because you've got the fast cash working for you in your W-2 or in your other business or whatever else you're doing. Now maybe you skip over to the medium and slow, but that's only because you're coming in already with that fast cash coming in. Most people, me included, we get into this business and we're dead broke. We have bad credit, nothing going for us. And we're starting at the bottom and we're working our way up. Like that's a lot of people that get into real estate, especially if you're getting into like wholesaling and flipping. You tend to be.
Me, that was Jamil. That was Brent. All four of us.
That was all of us. Yeah. Starting with nothing, no handouts, no silver spoon, no connections, no, parents that taught us about money, nothing. And just started and worked our way up. Like that's most people. So don't go do one good deal, make some money, and now go buy 5 rentals. That might not be the right timing to do that, right?
Yeah, Carson, I really like the idea of putting it with a private lender, a hard money lender.
Yep.
You get that usually, some of them start at 50,000, some go as low as 25,000, 50, 100. And I would just ask if you can just keep rolling it. I wouldn't even take any money out of it because it's just you're just going to pay taxes on it once it comes out.
I roll over,
and so just keep rolling it and just understand the rule of 72. Understand the rule of 72. Whatever your interest rate is, you divide that by 72. That's how many years it takes to double. So if you're getting 10%, it's 7.2 years to double your money. Okay, the rule of 72. So just let that play for you. You're 21 years old. And so, you could double that money or just keep putting money in there. But I think it's a really safe spot. I think that the market's going to be pretty flat for a bit. So you're not going to see some huge drop. And that means that the risk there for what you're getting for 10%, I don't think you get it in a better place. But, I'm not a financial advisor, but I think that's a really, really safe place to go. And then, in a few years, if you want to buy some properties after you've got your business established and running, go bananas. But active income, guys, is absolutely crucial. There is a reason 80% of the wholesalers, flippers, investors are gone from the market from 2021 to now. There's a reason. They couldn't keep cash. They either spent too much on overhead or they bought bad investments that didn't make sense for them, or they went out and just balled out and just went crazy. But I think there's a reason. Put it away. Yeah.
And I think, Brent, that you should build a wholesale business that builds itself, right? So like go do some free and low cost methods, transact, reinvest that money back into your business, reinvest again, start to do some better marketing, start to build some better systems, start to hire some better people. But it should be self-propelling. Like you should be able to grow a multi-million-dollar wholesale business that funded its own growth without you bringing in outside capital. And so, Carson, I would say if you got that 100 grand, I don't even think you need that to build your wholesale revenue. I think you can self-build that through your own deals.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think a lot of people will take, they'll inject cash into their business and they shouldn't. This is something Brent taught me I was doing incorrectly probably 6, 7, 8 years ago, was I wasn't paying myself and I wasn't pulling money out of my business.
Mm-hmm.
And Brent called me out on it. He's like, okay, you say you're making all this money in wholesaling, but like, are you really making money? You're generating money, but you're not taking it home and you're not reinvesting it. So for me, my goal now is to take the money out of my business as fast as possible. My bank accounts are empty. My things are empty. I'm reinvesting, compounding. And then for people that are hardworking, when you have no money in the bank, people like me, I work 10 times harder than when I have $1 million cash sitting in the bank. I just grind hard.
Yep.
So for me, other people are different. Their personality is a little bit more Dave Ramsey-esque, which is like, hey, if I have $14 in the bank, I'm good for 3 months. I don't know. That's just those are not my people. But this is a good question. Check this out. I actually have seen this happen a few times. Creme de la clutch exotics, bro. Got to make me work hard for it tonight. All right. He says, hey guys, appreciate all the podcast. Just one question. Have you ever had a title come back after you close saying that you missed or the seller missed a couple of years of taxes, then proceed to ask you to come and pay them? What would Jerry, Jamil, and Gent and Jace do?
Yeah.
WWJ.
It happened to me. You're not responsible for it.
Yeah.
The reality is the title company made an error. and it's they will come to you first.
They'll always ask you.
They're going to ask you.
They will always ask
because
you.
the escrow officer is the one right now who's kind of under fire, and he or she may or may not get reprimanded for it in some way, shape, or form at their office. And if they've had a history, or they have to cover it, and if they have a history of this and they're not super liked at their title office, they could lose their job. So just so you know, that's why they're coming to you right now saying, hey, pay this. But the reality is, it's not your responsibility. It's their responsibility. And so you can either not pay it and let them kind of deal with it, or you can, pay it and, you don't have to, but it's on you.
Yeah, sometimes you love your escrow officer, and they're moving and shaking, and something inevitably slips through the cracks.
I've had relationships where I'm like, I'm not gonna let this lady or this guy get dinged. It was my responsibility to pay the taxes. I would have had to pay them if they had put them on the settlement statement. So I'm doing the right thing because I know it was my obligation anyways. And so that's it's an ethical thing. It's not an obligatory thing, if that makes sense. And you get to decide where you land on that. And there's no judgment here. If you decide, hey, it's fair and square, you guys missed it and I got it, that's totally okay. That's your personal decision. I've always found though that if I do something that I shouldn't have done or that I think could have been right, I end up losing it some way, shape, or form down the road. Like if I know that's my bill to pay and I don't pay it, so maybe I save $2,000 here and then I'm going to go step on a nail and it's going to cost me $2,000 to fix my foot.
Yeah. I mean, the greatest deal flow that Brent, Jerry, Jamil, and Pace all have is our reputation.
Yeah.
And when your reputation is blaming the title rep who makes $52,000 a year and grinds her gears all day long for 12 hours a day to get your files out the door, and you're going to make her feel like crap and make her go back to the title company's ownership and have it come out of her pay or whatever it's going to be. Obviously, there's a title policy, but still, dude, Jamil makes a really great point. It was your money you owed regardless of whether she made the mistake or not. Pay the freaking bill, smile, give her a hug. And then next time that you close the transaction, say, hey, are we all good? Like double check before I sign, before I wire the money, are we double check? Learn from the mistake, understand human beings are there. And then also invest into AI because you know that that's the reason why AI is going to take over. Okay. We've got Will here in the red shirt right now. And I think Will has something to say right now. It better not be asking for my daughter's hand in marriage. She's not quite old enough, Will, but I do hope that I hope you do marry one of my daughters, Will. You have my approval.
What a handsome guy.
Will, what do you have for us tonight? Tell us a story. Tell us what we got.
Well, a few things that I know about real estate is that you have to, the main point of real estate is that you have to just get the money, and the guy, he wants to get the house sold, so you have to help him with that. So real estate is kind of like helping people sell stuff.
Perfect.
And there's a video that we posted like a few years ago where it was my dad teaching me real estate. So real estate is so easy that even a 12-year-old or 10-year-old can learn.
You know, I think Will invented a new word tonight. He said real estating. And I never heard that word before, but I legit will. I am stealing that word from you. That is the most genius freaking word ever, bro. Will, how cool is it going on?
It's so good.
I'm sure you're aware of how lucky you are, Will. Let me ask you a question about being in your dad's presence. We are all lucky. Jerry was a guy on my vision board. Jamil was on my vision board. Brent Daniels is on my vision board. Jerry was on my vision board. I wanted to become friends with these guys. And you get to freaking hang out with this guy all the time, driving around in mini trucks from Asia and kill iguanas all day long. But the coolest thing that you get to do is you get to go stop by these massive projects your dad is working on. He's got this like $7 or $8 million project going on right down the road from you. And then he owns this cool hotel called the Looking Glass Hotel. Is it cool to go to those projects, or do you not realize how cool it is?
Is it cool going to those projects?
Yeah, My oldest brother, he's managing it right now, and I'm like convincing him if I can be like a bellboy and like take up their luggage and everything. Like, it's like really cool seeing like all the work that he put into it and like making it like so nice. Like, really happy about that. What we're doing right now, pretty cool.
Do you think you're going to be a harder worker than your dad?
Maybe.
You won't have to, bro, because he's going to leave all his money to you. That's what he was saying on the episode a couple of weeks ago. He said, "My kids are."
You said that?
Pace, I got to tell you something funny. So you said that. I took Rosie and Lincoln out to the development project here, and they're 4 and 3. So Lincoln goes through this house. It's 11,000 square feet, and he goes, Dad, where does my bed go? Where's my bed go? He just kept asking, where do we put my bed? Where do we put my bed?
Wow. Well, you thought you guys going to move into a bigger house?
No, he thought he was. He thought he was moving into that house.
Will, have you seen your new house in Chattanooga, Tennessee?
Well, still needs a little more upgrading. Sleeping on a mat kind of sucks. And have to steal other people's pillows and not only having one. I always need 2 pillows. It's pretty annoying having one.
Me too, bud. Me too.
2 pillows are better than one. It's true.
Bro,
Sure.
I'm going to keep real estating for the rest of my life. Are you going to start real estating someday soon?
Well, if that's a new word that I invented myself, then maybe I'll turn my own project into a bigger one.
Yeah, your first LLC should be Real Estating LLC. I figure that's the freaking coolest name ever. Will, thank you for being on the show tonight. Please hang out with us for the next 28 minutes while we wrap up the show. Jamil, we've had a lot of questions about Deal Junkie today.
I was just responding. Yeah, let me respond to everybody who's asking about it. Okay, so no, I do not recommend you to go and purchase Deal Junkie at this time. Pace and I, over the last year, have been diligently and tirelessly working on putting together a solution that is, in my opinion, the privy killer, the Deal Junkie killer. The whole industry is being turned upside down by it. There's already 1,200 active users on it, and I haven't even started talking about it yet. But this Saturday, on my YouTube channel at noon, I will be unveiling Deal Sauce. Deal Sauce. It is got MLS access in every state. So any of you guys that have been doing using Privy for MLS deals, that will be there. You have direct to seller lists and top-notch skip tracing in that platform. You've got creative details, things like loan information and other really important pieces of data that you would need to do creative deals. And it is at a price point that is half of what Privy was charging monthly. And so if you guys are interested in coming and checking that out, you can learn more about it. You can go to just dealsauce.io now if you want, or you can learn about what all of the benefits are when I do the live on Saturday on my YouTube channel. And I have a link for you to sign up for that in my IG, and I think I'll drop it here in the chat as well. But Deal Sauce, Pace, like how have your folks been liking it?
There's a handful of things that we developed into it that are not available, at least that I know anywhere. For example, I want to know all the private money lenders and the note holders, the people that are actually creating notes and doing loans in second, third, and fourth lien positions. I want to know how often they're doing those types of loans in second lien, third lien positions. I love that about it. The other thing that I really love is seeing the fix and flippers, what other projects they have actively going on, what their burden is, how many, hey, this fix and flipper probably can't take another project right now type of gauge. There's AI involved, so it will tell you, hey, this house has a wholesale score of this, and this buyer is probably the right buyer for this house. And it will tell you the buyer before you even call the seller. There's all sorts of really cool things that AI is being implemented into it. So we're having a lot of fun with it, trying to improve it over time. And yes, as commercial data, I've been using Crexy for the longest time for all my commercial deals like RV parks, mobile home parks, apartment buildings, etc. But Deal Sauce is bringing in high quality Crexy style commercial data for the same price as you could have paid, for prop stream type of thing. Is prop stream still around, by the way? I'm not quite sure. So, Sam says, what inspired the name Deal Sauce? I had this vision that Jamil was like on a laptop and he was like, oh, I can't get a deal done. And then, or no, it was me. I'm on a laptop going, gosh, I can't get a deal done. And then Jamil comes over with a bucket of sauce and is like, have you tried Deal Sauce?
It's got to be an ad, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's great.
So that is where the name came from.
Have you done that ad yet?
No, yeah.
Okay. Josue Fernandez. Great question. What's the lowest EMD you can put in a wholesale deal? A buddy of mine in the Facebook group says he does it for $10. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. You have no business being in this business if you're putting $10 down for EMD. I'm just gonna. I know it's gonna hurt some people's feelings. People don't like this, especially like the wholesalers that are just starting the business. They don't like this. No real estate agent will ever take you seriously, ever. Correct. If you are reaching out to real estate agents on EMD deals and you're saying, hey, $10 for EMD, guys, they're going to want 1% of the purchase price. So can you technically put $1? Yes, you can. Can you technically put $10? Yes, but that is the number one way that I will beat you on every single deal, because I will ask the seller, like I do. By the way, if you guys want to see 35 deals I closed in the last couple of months, like closing statement, ask a question, send over a contract, 35 actual calls. You will hear me talk about this. DM me, just say, Pace, I want those 30. I think it's 34. There's not 35, it's 34. You want to see the last 34 deals I closed. DM me and just say, Pace, can I have those 34 calls? And it's me video. And the agent will ask you, well, how much money are you putting down for EMD? Then a seller, when I'm talking to a seller, I'll say, are you talking to other investors? Yes, I am. Great. How much EMD are they putting down? They go $10. And then I laugh. I go, okay, so let me ask you, Mr. Seller, do you have a daughter? Yes, Pace, I do have a daughter. Cool. If some man came to take your daughter's hand in marriage and showed up with a ring pop to propose to her, if he showed up with a ring pop to propose to your daughter saying, this is all I can scrounge up, are you going to say yes to that guy? That's $10 EMD, my friends.
Bro, I'm sorry to have to say it like this. I'm not going to say names, but the same guy he's talking about that's putting $10 EMDs that, goes on and on and on about that on Facebook. He took his wife to Taco Bell for their first date.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. If you go up, scroll up 10 posts, and he's like, I took my wife to Taco Bell for our first date, and here we are. I'm a millionaire now, and I've taken her to Universal Studios. I'm serious. I wish I was lying right now, but I'm not. Everything I said right now is true.
Well, my thing about EMD is when I was first starting out, nobody taught me the wrong way. And so people would ask me, like, why am I closing so many deals? I was brand new. So I would learn from, I joined TTP in 2014. I think I joined TTP in like 2014. So almost 10 years ago. I've known Brent. And when I joined TTP, I learned the right way. You put down EMD. That's how you compete with other wholesalers, because most wholesalers that are just watching on YouTube and are not trained properly or don't have access to somebody who has EMD, okay, find a gator. They'll put up the EMD for you. I put up EMD probably 2-3 times a week for people. Jerry will do the same thing. You don't need to worry about having money when you're in this business. Somebody else will bring it to you. Collaborate with people, but don't do yourself a favor. You took the time and the energy to negotiate. Actually, the first negotiation you do with yourself when you're joining this business is negotiating whether you're going to pick up the phone or not. So you negotiated with yourself. You convinced yourself. You probably went through 30 iterations, 25 different days. Yeah, I'm going to call in a couple hours. No, I'm going to clean my desk. No, you know what? I should clean my car. You've gone through all of that journey to finally pick up the phone and start negotiating with a seller or an agent just to send them a contract with $10 EMD.
I look at it like this, Pace. I mean, when you look at an offer, there's really 5 main things. There's price, which is what everybody thinks is the only thing that matters. Price is not the only thing that matters. You also have earnest money. You also have inspection time. You also have closing date. and how you're financing. Are you cash? Are you creative? Like, how are you putting money down? Are you getting financing? So those terms of the contract, not creative finance terms, but terms of your offer can create significant advantage in your offer, especially if that seller is getting multiple offers. And if you can do a good job of helping that seller understand the value in the terms of your offer, you can win big. I call it throw everybody else under the bus. I throw everybody under the bus in the terms of my offer because I can beat out everybody else. And the easy one is earnest money, because you may not want to waive inspection or you may not want to close fast or whatever. But earnest money, if you have the ability, then you can put yourself above everybody else. I've had deals where I'm $20,000 or $30,000 lower than other offers at the same price, right? But because I have better terms, especially earnest money, I can show that seller the value of those terms, and they'll feel more trust, more confidence in me, because I'm not offering a freaking $10 earnest money. I'm giving them whatever. I'll give them 5,000. I'll give them 10,000.
Yeah.
If you're not,
let's go around the table. What are you typically putting? 1% pace, or do you put like 5 or 10K? What do you do?
$5,000 to $10,000, but 1% standard.
Yeah. Jerry?
What I'll do if it's on market is I'll ask the agent, I'll say, how important is earnest money? What do you think it should be? If they say 1%, I say, okay, if I put 1%, that's no problem. If I put more, do you think that'll have an influence on my offer price? Would that matter to the seller? If you go back to them and say, hey, this guy's putting down some big earnest money. And sometimes they'll say, nah, it doesn't really matter. As long as it's 1%, I don't think that'll really, have any impact. Other times they'll say, if you can come in with 10,000 earnest money, I think I could get the seller to buy into your offer, even though we've had better offers. And so then I'll say, okay, well, what does it need to be? I'll put 10,000 down, tell me where I need to be for it to matter. And that agent sometimes they don't know. And they're like, well, I don't know. I'll ask the seller, but sometimes they'll give you visibility on that. And that can be really good information. But on market, you have to know going into it that earnest money is a big part of that offer. All agents are going to require it. So there is no getting out of it. Mm-hmm. And so how do you play to that? How do you make that to your advantage? Off market, what happens is the sellers don't know any better. And that's why that wholesaler is getting away with $10. But he's getting creamed if Pace comes in or Brent comes in behind him. He's getting creamed. He's not getting that deal because Brent's going to offer him way more earnest money and he's going to walk out of there with a contract.
Yeah, I had a deal about 5 years ago. I was competing against Cody Sperber's team, Bryant Apples, when Bryant Apples was just getting into the business. So I go on the appointment and I'm talking to the lady. It's right here in Tempe, Arizona. And she, I'm a good salesperson. Obviously, I know what I'm doing. So I walk in. I'm like, so how are the other investors treating you? That's what I always say. How are they treating you? Are you getting taken care of? Are you getting it off? Like, why am I here? Tell me why I'm here, because obviously they're not getting you what you need. So why am I here? I don't want to leave here unless I get you what you're looking for. And she says, well, I'm talking to this other guy and da-da-da. And cool. What's the name of his company? I might know him. Tells me Cody Sperber's name. I go, oh, amazing. I love it. Can I show you how to see if he's a real buyer or not? I actually don't know him, is what I told her. I do know him. I don't know who they are. They must be a fly-by-night person. This story has a great ending, by the way, in about 35 seconds. So I go, can you hand me your phone? And I'll show you how to make sure they're a quality buyer. So I text back and I go, hey, it's Martha. I want $10,000 non-refundable EMD. I want you to waive the inspection. I want you to make your assignment non-assignable. And I want you to show a proof of funds that has your LLC's bank account on the proof of funds. Toast. Done.
He said all the traps. He was just like,
good night.
Can't pass that one, buddy.
Yeah. So here's what's cool about this. So I go, look, if he doesn't reply back within 10 deals or 10 minutes, he's not a real investor. So why don't we just talk about, where are you guys going to move to? What's going on? I'm just sitting there I'm going to build rapport while this guy does not text back. So he literally doesn't text back. And I go, so what do you think? And she's like, well, would you match his offer? I go, I don't know if I would match that offer. That number doesn't make any sense. It's obvious the guy doesn't know what he's doing. What's the amount of money I can, make you happy while still making a couple bucks for my family? She takes 15 grand less than him. Okay. And I get the contract. I leave. I literally send a picture of the contract to Cody.
Yep.
And I sell the deal to him 25 grand higher than what I bought it for.
So good.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Well, guys, this is what happens when you don't play the EMD game. The EMD game, like Jerry's saying. And here's what's funny is, as I said, $10,000 EMD, wave inspection, this, that, and the other. Did she make me do any of those things?
No.
No. My contract did not include any of that at all. So just to like show you guys what we're talking about in this business, check this out. You guys are all friends with this gentleman. I just bought a deal from them a couple of days ago. Let's just look at a settlement statement real quick. Okay. What do you guys notice here? What's the first thing you look at here?
Assignment fees.
Just what pops out of I don't have anything specific I'm looking for you. Like where do your eyes go for this deal?
2 assignment fees.
2 assignment fees. Here we go. Brent Daniels saw exactly how much are the wholesalers making. So I bought a deal from a guy who wholesaled the deal from a guy who went and got it under contract. 2 people made 25 grand on a deal I just bought. I'm all in for 581, 630. That includes my renovation budget. I actually borrow my renovation budget and all of my hard money payments along the way. Like that's my total amount of money. 581, 630. That's just how I structure my financing. I'll go make $60,000, $70,000 net on this. Guys, we're not playing little boys games where you can get you don't make $25,000 to $24,000 on assignments going in and saying, let me give you $10 EMD. Okay.
Fair, right? You don't deserve to make 25 grand without having
we're playing a very serious game here.
Yeah.
It's a big boy game. And what do we mean by that? Does it mean it's really hard? No. What it really means is that these sellers are depending on you to actually follow through with what you told them. Okay. And so you're negotiating on their largest asset they've ever owned in their life. And so when I went to the house on Sunday, let me show you the photo. I took 15 people in our community to this house the other day. And I like showing this kind of stuff. So it just kind of puts a little reality behind the story, you know, makes you feel real. So I'm at the house yesterday. You guys can see Justin Tumanowski right here. You've got Roz, Jeff, you got Kyle Kargas, you got all the people, Ingrid Hernandez, Norman Fuller. You got all these amazing people that are with me in my little van right here. And we go to the house and we're talking to the seller. The seller, as you can see, the car is still in the back of the house right there. Okay. Seller's still, you can look back there, the door is still open, and you can tell that the seller is still moving out of this house. So I had this amazing opportunity to make a YouTube video with the seller. And this is literally yesterday. I asked the seller, I go, why did you choose to sell through Doug? And she says, because the other 2 people that sent me a contract did not have earnest money included in the offer. You guys want to make $25,000 on a whack? These sellers are looking at your contract. Okay. The only people that are putting $10 down as EMD are people that are not serious about buying the property.
Mm-hmm. And if they don't know what earnest money is, I guarantee you the real players are educating them real quickly on what earnest money is.
And here's a great question because this ties everything together. Jalabi 99. How are you going to lie to a seller that you can buy their house when you're nickel and diming them on EMD? It makes no sense. I agree. And one of the reasons why we call Wholesale Hotline, our motto, our mantra is squad up, is because look at all the people in the side chat that are here. There's a lot of them that are actively doing deals. A lot of my friends are in the side chat that are doing 5, 7, 10 deals every month. Collaborate with people that will help you with your EMD. I call them gators. They're the people I've trained how to do EMD and transactional lending. Find the gators. They'll bring the money to the transaction.
Yeah, right here, gator call. If you're a gator, put a gator in the chat. If right now, if anything that we've been talking about with EMD has upset you or made you feel weird, this is the antidote. Okay, every one of you gators that are here right now, identify yourselves. And now you can see there's going to be a schwack of people in here that you now have an opportunity to collaborate with that will allow you to write a legitimate offer because they will fund your EMD. Look at that. Look at all those.
There you go. Susan Caspers, actually, shout out to Susan Caspers. She has this really great relationship. If this relationship works out, Susan, she sends me a text. Hey, I've got this awesome relationship with Section 8. It's like a multi-million dollar per year profit that Susan, who's a dentist in her day job, is working between patients. Guys, there is no excuse for not collaborating and leveraging other people, especially when you have access to people. Look at Susan. She's in the side chat. She's probably cleaning somebody's teeth right now while messaging in the side chat. That's how badass she is. Okay. The JPW says, what do Gators get out of it, though? JPW, do me a favor. Go to my YouTube channel and just type in Pace Morby Gator, and you will see exactly how a Gator deal gets structured. Okay. And there you go. This is interesting. Hey, Jerry, I don't know what Trey G Speaks is talking about, but he says, I built a propensity to sell model using the prop wire output. Would love to. Oh, I see what he's talking about. He's talking about the likelihood that somebody would sell in prop wire. That's cool. You guys should get on a phone call.
Yeah, reach out to me, Trey.
You guys, you can reach them in Sacrament meeting, okay, and in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's not hard.
How many Jerry, how many more sweats do you have in Puerto Rico before you?
Not many. Let's see. What is today? We're flying out of here on the 12th. So yeah, about 9-10 days. So
you're done. Like, I'm never gonna go visit that house ever again.
I mean, we're selling the house. Yeah, I've got projects here, so I'll be back a little bit, but we're moving the family. Yep.
Will, how do you feel about that?
It's been bittersweet. We love it. We're right on the ocean, and there's a lot of hard things about being here, but there's a lot of great things too. And then at the same time, I'm really excited for the new adventure. So I don't know, I've got a lot of mixed feelings about it, but Anne-Marie's excited. She's really excited. Will, you're not?
No.
Jamil, what was your favorite Tupac album?
My favorite Tupac album of all time?
Yeah.
All
Eyes on Me.
Yeah, no, I'd say that would be like my number 2. I think my favorite would be Machiavelli.
Okay, so Machiavelli. It's interesting, like, as we get our favorite artists, our favorite rappers, our favorite country singers, whatever, there's like an era that they created, even in their own world. They have like, oh my gosh, remember when that CD came out? Like, and you're anticipating their next album to come out and you want it to be like the album 4 albums ago. That's kind of how I feel with like this Puerto Rico situation. It's like you guys had this unbelievable moment in time, you know, the beach club, the ocean, these projects you're doing, the hotel, the little Japanese trucks that you have, your restaurant down in your hotel. It's like this little capsule of time that you will never go back to ever again. Mm-hmm. And so the best thing you can do is just remember it, encapsulate it, and be grateful that it was there, put it on the shelf and go, time to go make another record. Let's go. Let's make the next record better than the last one, and don't compare them at all, because I think where bands really screw up is they try and recreate what they've already done. And where Tupac was phenomenal is that every song was so uniquely different. He had so many hits, and it was just like banger after banger after banger after banger. So Jerry, what I hear about you, you're going and creating. You've always done this. You're always reinventing. Like Jerry has a rule, guys. He and this guy inspired me tremendously. He has a rule that he moves every 3 to 5 years to a place he doesn't know anybody, and it forces him out of his shell, forces his kids to make new friends, finds new places, and it forces him to level up himself too and reinvent. So that's what Jerry's doing right now in moving to Tennessee, the Smoky Mountains, 40 acres with a lake.
You got a private lake, Jerry?
Yeah, it's got like a 5-acre lake on the property. Yeah, stock full of fish.
Wow. Can you take boats on it or like just paddle boats?
It's not that big. Yeah, so it's more like paddle boat. Yeah, that'd be fun.
How fun, dude. What a blessed life.
But the fun thing about the farm is that it came with a 4-wheeler, like one of your Paces, but like
a side-by-side. Yeah.
So I hope you crash it a lot of times, Will. I hope you drop it in the lake, like launch it. When you
want to tell everybody about your sauna story?
No.
We'll crash the golf cart into the sauna in the garage. Like drove it into the sauna, like the glass shattered.
No,
are you serious?
Look at his face right now. He's like, Dad, you suck.
Wait. What house?
Right here.
I got
Why don't you have a sauna in
Great.
Puerto Rico?
He got the gas and the brake confused. But you know what happened?
Even better question.
He was really upset about it. He crashed in, it shattered, and he was really upset. And I went up to him and I said, Will, it's just stuff. It's going to end up in the dumpster one day anyway. And I said, you know what you're doing tomorrow? And he's like, what? And I said, you're getting back on the golf cart and you're going to keep practicing and keep learning. It's okay. It's just stuff. Now you got to pay for it, but it's just stuff.
But Jerry, I think what the universe was telling all of you that you had no need for a sauna in Puerto Rico.
What are you doing, man?
What are you
Why don't you bring sand to the beach, bro? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's
Jerry,
true. Walk down to the mailbox. You don't need a sauna.
Sherry Fitzgerald is asking a really important question here. She's saying, community camp in Tennessee?
Oh, that would be fun. We could.
40
Yeah,
acres?
we have an event center.
Yeah, it's got a big pavilion. Yeah, we could.
Oh,
We definitely
How
could.
many people could we have? Remember, we had about 700 people at the ranch.
We could probably even have like 1,100.
Well, whatever
Okay,
whatever
well,
Pace says, we have to double the number. That's the rule we have with community camp.
Pace, say the number. And
Will, would you like us to do a community camp event at in Tennessee?
Yeah, I would love that. I'll take anyone on the Razor 4-wheeler.
You take people for rides.
40 acres. Is it mostly wooded or is it mostly open?
It's a good combination. It's about half woods behind the house, and then the front has some more open areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested in doing something fun there. Jamil and I were talking about doing community, and we've been talking about Banff and freaking, Yellowstone and all sorts of fun things. But anyway, Jerry, when are you guys moving in? What's the date?
The 12th, we fly out of Puerto Rico.
Wow. Will, how are you going to break up with your girlfriend?
What girlfriend?
They'll get a new one.
I get it, dude. I get it. Your dad's there with you. You can't let him know what's up.
February
Bro.
13th is National Iguana Day, by the way, in Puerto Rico now that Jerry's gone on the 12th.
Yeah.
So that's
All the iguanas are going to have their independence and their liberation.
Yeah, I've made a goal to hunt iguanas every day since I'm leaving soon. So that's it's been a daily ritual.
I love it. Brent Daniels, what do you have coming up this week, brother?
I got a live show Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So come join me there. And guys, remember, I want you to go to Spotify right now, if you haven't already, and go type in Wholesale Hotline and make sure that you make it one of your favorites. Guys, we put out an episode every single day, whether it's Pace, Jamil, Jerry, myself, some of it, it's just us. Some of it, it's this show. It's absolutely incredible. I'm telling you, more people have got their first deals and built out real businesses just listening to that podcast than any other podcast in real estate investing. It's not even close. So make sure that you guys get in there and check that out on Spotify.
Are we averaging
a bazillion? I don't know.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. But listen, the reason we get those downloads, the whole market went down. The amount of people wholesaling and investing went down 80%, and we've gone up 300%.
Wow.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we take a lot of pride in that, guys. There's a lot of heart into that. There's a lot of love into that. And so get in there. And if you guys can give a thumbs up on it, if you guys can give a review, that'd be incredible.
Subto.
Jamil, what do you have coming up this week, brother?
This Saturday, deal sauce. I'm getting saucy with it. Gonna really dive into it and pull some deals, call some agents, hopefully get something under contract. But really, you and I were involved in creating so many little different pieces of that. But the comping calculator, I was involved in developing it. And so since I'm definitely the comp guy, I'm proud of it, and I'm excited to share it with the community. So Saturday at 12 on my YouTube channel, I'll be unveiling deal sauce to those of you who haven't already seen it at noon on my YouTube channel. There's a link up in my comments if you want to join us.
I love that. And Jerry Norton, what do you have coming up this week, brother?
Just trying to pack this place up and get out of here. I'll be putting out some regular content still on the YouTube channel. We just finished a big event at the hotel this weekend, so that was fun. But yeah, just plugging away, continue to do the work, do the business, and keep going.
Love it. Guys, Wholesale Hotline, episode 256. We will see you next week.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up and enjoy the show.